Hey, how's it going, guys? This is Sith Lord Lemley here, and today I'll be bringing you a full game commentary of Shyvana Jungle. So I've been playing a ton of Shyvana lately, and the reason being is that Udyr and Xin, a couple of my favorite junglers, have been banned quite a bit. So I looked for another super strong jungler that I can A, carry on, B, not too mechanically difficult, so I can take them into ranked, and 3, that's not really A, B, 3, whatever, that I can, that's not really picked or banned heavy, so that I can consistently play them so that I can get a lot of experience on them. So Shyvana really fits the bill. She is great with Devour. She's got great clears. She can hard carry pretty easily. And so this game, this actually isn't live right now. I'm going back and recording over one of my replays, and the reason I'm doing this is because I found out I throw a ton of games while trying to do a commentary. So I figured I would try this out. If you like this, if you don't like this, if you have any feedback, please comment below, and I will definitely address those, because these videos are all for you guys. So if you feel like you didn't get as much out of this video, you got more out of this video, any nitpicky things, just please let me know, and I'll definitely take those into consideration. So this game, my runes that I'm running attack speed and attack speed quints and reds. Attack speed really helps her out with her early clears, so I'm able to really tear through the jungle so I can go and get to ganking without spending too much time in the jungle. And then I've got MR blues and armor yellows, which I feel is pretty standard. You could run cooldown blues if you wanted to, but I just stick with MR. I really don't like going mid and getting burst down by the mid laner because I don't have as much MR as I should for my runes. So pretty simple clear here, running my pots. I started W because that really helps her out with her clear. That's what I max first, and then I go Q. Again, helps her in combat, helps her clears. Just a good ability for her. And then I go my E. My E's good. It's good for fighting. It applies a debuff that makes them take more damage for my auto attacks. So that's definitely good for combat and helps a little bit with the clears. But I just put 1 point in it and then max my W so that I can really burn through these camps as quick as possible. So I start taking the Scuttle Crab just for a little bit of health, but then I see that this Yasuo is way overextended, so I ping that I'm coming. He notices a little late. I feel like that was worth it. I got a lot of damage on him that my laner is going to be able to capitalize on. I was going to come back in and flash for this kill, but the reason I backed off there is because there was a Windows notification that blocked my screen, so I was unable to come in. So that was just really unfortunate. But you know what? We got Yasuo Flash, got a lot of free damage on him. Twisted Fate's going to get a lot of golden experience, while Yasuo is forced to back there. So I'm going to continue my clear. You want to get both your buffs as soon as you can. They give you a lot of golden experience, so you want to kill those as many times as possible throughout the game so that you can, get as much golden experience as you can. So I'm a little unhealthy here, but I noticed that the Diana actually is too. So I think that we should be able to get her here on this gank, or at the very least get her her flash. She chooses to use the actually, hold on. I'm gonna go back to that. She uses her flash offensively, which is awesome for us because you know what? She doesn't get away and she dies. So okay. So you watch this gank. I start coming in here. Notice the angle I take here. I start coming behind her instead of running directly at her. The reason I do that, because if I ran directly at her here, she could flash over here and get away. But the reason I start running this way is she knows if she flashes, she's flashing directly into me, and she knows she has no way out. So normally what they either do is they flash right into you, they don't flash, or they offensively flash. When they see a jungler has cut them off this badly, they usually panic and make a bad decision. So if you watch this again, She sees, oh crap, you know, I don't really have a way out, so she decides to try to go in. Works out in our favor. We get the flash and the kill, which is, you know what, that's optimal. So the next 5 minutes, she doesn't have flash, she can't use it offensively, she can't use it defensively, and she died. So really worst case scenario for the Diana. So this game, I'm going to go Red Smite. I don't buy any pots because I want to build as quickly into that Devourer so I can start getting that sucker stacked. Because that really is a big power spike when we get that Devourer stacked for us. So as you can see here, just continuing clearing. You can see I am speeding it up a little bit so that you don't spend too much time watching me just clear. But you can really see how fast Shyvana's clear speeds are. And that's really a huge strength of hers. You can really tear through the jungle and continue ganking. So the reason I'm kind of hoping that the Callisto overextends so I can gank, but I was actually hoping for the enemy jungler to poke his head into that bush is why I was waiting there. I wasn't wasting my time trying to look for a gank. That was a little counter gank opportunity that I was looking for. I was hoping the enemy jungle Alistar would show up so I could you know, put a little bit of damage on him. So Yasuo here was overextending again. I saw that he'd use his shield, so I know that, you know, Twisted Fate's going to be able to get a stun off. Boom, easy kill, easy money. I'm going to help this Twisted Fate push this wave in. The faster we can get this in, you know, the more XP and gold that this Yasuo is going to miss as this hits the turret. So we got that in there pretty quick, so I know that Yasuo could take care of that. I see our Ilioi fighting top, so I start booking up. I'm pinging him that I'm coming, so he knows not to completely engage. Our Twisted Fate, you know, since we got so much pressure mid, he's able to all up and help us out, clean up this kill. Honestly, without the Twisted Fate stun, Ilioi might have died to that Alistar there. So, alright. So yeah, like I said, most Devourer junglers just hard farm and don't really help their team out. I'm doing the opposite. I'm ganking hard so that we can get map control so that when it comes time to stack my Devourer, you know, my teammates are able to protect me while I'm going for Rift Scuttler, Rift Herald, Dragon, because those are the quickest way to get your Devourer stacked. So, you know what? If we can get map control, I'm going to get my Devourer stacked so much faster than I would if I just AFK farmed. So, I know that she doesn't have flash there, so I try to alter back into the Ilioi because she can't get away, but somehow she falls through me as I ult. So unfortunately we don't get a kill there. But, you know what, get a little bit of free damage on the Diana, so it's not really too much of an issue. So I start heading bottom. I know I can't get there in time, but I'm just going to be in the area in case there is an opportunity for me. Yeah, they ended up dying, so nothing really for me to do here, but I can keep clearing. Again, want to get the buffs as soon as they come up so you can kill them as many times as possible, get the most gold and XP. Really maximize that. I see Yasuo pressing in again. He's been an aggro all game like most Yasuos are, so I'm going to just come over here and hover this. He saw me on the ward, so we unfortunately weren't able to get the gank off. But, you know, I clear the wave. I see that Twisted Fate had to back, so that's why I cleared the wave. Get that into the tower for him so he can back safely. Get my clear going. I'm clearing super fast. I'll do this at normal speed so you can just see how fast I'm going. I'm really tearing through these camps. I come over here, I want to get Scuttle Crab. No, see the Alistar. Thankfully I was in the area, so I was able to deter him from going top, but it didn't really matter. Really, I ended up dying anyways. So yeah. I'm going to back that up. Sorry, I went through that a little too quickly. So right now, what's going through my head, I see the Alistar, but it's an Alistar jungle. I'm not really overly concerned with it. He doesn't even have his jungle enchantment. All he's got is an amplifying tome, so I'm not really afraid of him. You know, I scroll up here and look top. You know, she's a level ahead of me, but I think I can take her one-on-one. I've got my red smite. It's going to do true damage. I got red buff. I'm feeling really strong, and I know I've got my ult. So I decided to take a chance on this. I see the Twisted Fate coming up, so I ult into her, get my W off, miss my E, unfortunately, but you know what? End up still getting the kill. You know what? Those early ganks on the Yasuo were really a great idea because Twisted Fate has so much global pressure. So if I could get him ahead, he's going to help out the rest of their team. So you know what? That's why I was really focusing him, because if you can get your Twisted Fate so that he can push the wave in and roam, he pretty much becomes a second jungler for the team. He's going to start ulting places and blowing people up for you. And if you're not able to gank a lane, you know what? He's going to be able to do it for you. So I'm just pushing this wave in, getting a little bit of damage on this tower so we can deny as much of the CS from this Diana as possible. So she's going to miss this entire cannon wave here. So I'm pretty low, so I'm going to have to back. Bottom lane, thankfully, gets to live through that. But like I said, I got Twisted Fate pretty far ahead, and also he made some great plays. So, you know, it's not only me. This Twisted Fate's playing really well. And he's really been doing a lot with what I've been giving him. And so that's why I keep giving him continued attention. So I see them kind of positioning down here. My boy P. Farwig here makes a pretty good play on this Yasuo, who just got over aggressive. So he's getting kited a little bit, but you know, he knows he's got backup, so he might die, but you know what? His teammates are going to clean him up. So that was a great play by our Leona here. And so I know Lucian's dead. I know bottom lane's not there. I've got Twisted Fate in the area, so I know I got a chance to take the dragon here pretty easily. I know I had smite. I knew that Alistair was in the area, so if you watch this, I smite this as soon as I get it in range. I just wanted to make sure that Alistair wasn't going to come over the wall and try to contest that, because that's 5 big stacks for me. That's really going to help me get my Devourer stack quick. So yeah, so if you take a look at what just happened there, you know, I ganked a lot for mid. He's pretty far ahead. I didn't really give bot a lot of attention. But you know what? Twisted Fate got ahead and he was able to help them out. And they were also just doing an excellent job on their own. So they didn't really need that much help. So just that pressure I was able to create by ganking Yasuo so many times and as early as I did really gave us control over this side of the map. And so I was able to get 5 stacks here, able to get 2 stacks there. Boom, 7 quick stacks. I got 15 stacks and it's only 11 minutes into the game. So I'm halfway to a Devour, say to Devour. And it's only 11 minutes in, so that's really good for me. And also, I'm level 8. You know, I'm one level behind a solo laner, so I'm doing really well. I'm actually even levels with their mid laner, so you know what? I'm doing awesome. And I also just hit level 9, so yeah, I'm even or ahead of both of their solo laners. So yeah, I'm gonna just keep tearing through these camps, because you know what? Easy gold. I can do it really healthily. So I'm gonna keep putting pressure mid. RTF's really been doing a lot with the attention I've been giving him, so I'm going to keep giving him love. You know what? Like, had I been ganking for him, and then every time I left he just died, I would have stopped ganking for him. But, you know, he's been making plays other places on the map, so I want to keep giving him attention. An example of somebody not, you know, using the attention I've given him, this Ilio's really been getting smoked out by this Diana. So I've been giving more attention mid than I have top. But this Diana's really pressing in. I think I can 1v1 her, so I'm going to run up here and try to get a kill. Unfortunately, Diana is able to get the kill on the Ilioi. But the movement speed for my W, I'm pretty sure I'm able to secure this kill. And also, another thing to remember as a Devourer jungler, assists and kills also count for stacks. So by ganking lanes, you're not losing out on stacks. You're just getting them a different way. All right. So the items I'm building, Swiftness boots, they got nerfed, but they're still pretty good. I'm still building those until I, really have a need not to. And then also, I'm building the T-Mat. I'm going to build it into the Titanic Hydra because gives tank stats. The Cleave procs twice on the Sated Devour, so that's really good. So tank, damage, Devourer help, all really good on Shyvana and what I'm trying to build with her right now. So I'm just kind of hover. I don't know really what's going on. I'm on comms with Leona right now, and so I'm just like, hey, if I really need it, can you please ult this Callista? But once I got onto her, I told him I didn't really need the ult because I was able to clean that up. So, you know what? That was just an example of Callista being out of position. She should have been able to kite me. I don't have a cutlass or anything right now, so I shouldn't have been able to kite her. She just couldn't get away from my my ult and my W. Ilio's going a little bit wild on the pings because she knows that Diana is pretty large, and she unintelligently is fighting her in the middle of her lane, which is just a terrible idea. She's 2 levels ahead of you. You know, the farthest she should be out is like right here. But oh well. I just let her know that. I said, hey, we're all doing pretty well. Try to, if you could, try to stop fighting the Diana, because you were just getting her huge. So I did not know they were there, so that was a mistake on my part. Kind of face checking that, but I'm strong enough. Nobody's going to be able to burst me down immediately. I start fighting because I assumed Twisted Fate was going to keep fighting. I don't think he realized I was as strong as I was, so he came in a little late, but you know what? He's able to clean up the kill. Diana, though, still... Whoops. Did not mean to jump to live there. Sorry about that. Alright, thankfully TF is able to clean up that kill. Unfortunately, Diana is still huge and comes up and whoops that ass. But, whatever. Shit happens. Not worth it. But, you know what? We're playing super aggro right now, because I'm pretty huge. TF's doing great, even though his scoreline's not showing it. He went Rod of Ages, so that's going to sort of stymie his lead a little bit. But our Lucian's doing pretty good. Every time I say somebody's doing good, they die, but whatever. They don't die anymore. Alright, so I'm 5-1. I got my Titanic Hydra. Let me see here. I've got 23 stacks, getting pretty close to Devour getting stacked. So I know I'm huge. Titanic Hydra is really good on her. So I know I'm getting big. So with that, I'm gonna just keep taking towers, keep pressure, keep trying to get my Devour stacked. But I'm not gonna do it at the cost of my team. I'm not gonna AFK farm and leave them out to dry. Just because I'm trying to get my Devour. I see that way too often. I think that's what really gives Devour a bad reputation, is people, low-level junglers or people who don't understand Devour, leave their team out to dry, and too many times people just absolutely get smashed because their jungler is AFK farming, and just people are really against Devour Devour because of that. Yeah, unfortunately, we're not going to be able to get this Diana. I kind of baited the Ilioi into it. I pinged to target her. But, you know, Ilioi was still the one that chose to go balls deep on that. So, unfortunately, that was just a really good play on Diana's part. All right, speed this up a little bit. Running around doing stuff. Unfortunately, I lost Dragon. I'm not very happy about that because I've got 25 stacks, so that would have been my City Devourer. So not a lot's going on. Ilio's going to take that bottom farm. So I'm going to keep farming up. I'm going to chase this Alistar out of here. Not really planning on killing him. But you know what? TF shows up, makes a good play, so I decide to go in on it. Leona hits a great ult over the wall, so I decided to go in. I'm huge. I know these guys can't kill me. So, if you wonder why I'm going in on some of these kind of crappy fights, It's because I'm trying to exert pressure. I'm trying to make them feel pressure that, you know, I'm just gonna take my lead and shove it down your throat. I'm ulting over walls. I'm, you know, picking fights I probably shouldn't, but I'm living through all of them. So they're gonna feel pressure that, holy crap, this Shyvana's huge. She's really getting scary. You know, we really don't want to fight around her because she's able to jump into us and get away with it. So that's another good thing to know is if you have a lead, don't just farm up and do nothing with the lead. Especially in lower elo, people usually make big mistakes. If you take your lead, you do kind of risky plays and just ram it down their throats. I'm not saying ult in, you know, 4v1 and just show them that you've got the biggest balls around. That's just dumb. But, you know, showing them you're not afraid of them and that you are stronger than them, you know, can make them panic a little bit. Alright, so not a lot going on. Scuttle Crab. Okay, sorry about that. I am really bad with these controls. Alright, so Scuttle Crab is going to get me stacked here, so I'm going to get the Scuttle Crab. Boom, I'm sated, I'm huge. You know, the Titanic Hydra is now going to double proc on every other shot. So it's going to proc on every hit, but then it's going to double proc because of my Sated Devour, which is really good. So I can auto, which is going to proc it once, auto again, it's going to double proc it. I can use my Q for an auto attack reset. I can use the active for an auto attack reset. So if I use those all in conjuncture, I can do a ton of damage in a tiny period of time. And that's an example of that. Like, you know, I don't really have that much sticking power, but if I do ult and get on top of them, I can auto attack and use auto attack resets and my Sated Devour to just completely tear through them. That on top of my my W doing constant damage and the debuff for my E, you absolutely, if you have a lead, just rip through people. And again, this is another example. We're in their jungle, we're playing super aggressive, we are just taking our lead and shoving it down their throats. And they're going to definitely feel pressured from this. Yeah, we sort of overplay our hand here a little bit. Little unwise, but things happen. But oh wait, turns out I am massive. Our Lucian is a beast. And so we're able to just, you know what, stay super aggro and just clean up the kills. And you can see from Callista, pressure's getting to her. You know, we've been shoving it down our throats. She just decides, you know what, she would rather just run out and die and just feed than, you know, continue actually trying to face us. So getting people to tilt, getting people to rage at their teammates, getting people to AFK and feed are just, you know, side effects of playing super aggressive when you have a lead and just shoving it down people's throats. You know, especially in low elo, people don't know how to handle that pressure, so their natural response is to panic, to blame each other, and to just start throwing the game out the window. So yeah, you can tell, you know, it's a 3v2 right here. Callista's using poor flashes. They're playing completely sloppy at this point. They're playing reckless. They're playing they're just overplaying their hand. So I start pinging that I want to re-engage this. Diana's just running, kind of pell-mell. We actually misplay this a little bit. Leona gets an awesome ult there. I'm able to get into their team. I flash back to get the Diana because I know she's the largest one of the team. So she's the one I want to get. Pick up the double kill on the Callisto with my E. Just able to just, you know, clean up these kills. Boom. So actually, I'm going to skip back to that fight again. So we're way ahead of them. They're kind of chasing us ill-advisedly, but I know we can go back in. So Yasuo's diving our backline. Our Lucian's actually positioning okay. He was trying to get back to Leona, which is smart with him. So I'm focusing the Diana. I know she's huge. She's the one I want to kill. There's a great hook by Thresh, but you know what? Too little, too late, I guess. I flash back to clean up the Diana. get my ulti up, to thankfully finish off the Callista. Pretty easy fight for us, and that was all a product of us just being in the lead, recognizing we're in the lead, and turning an ill-advised chase on them. They thought, you know what, we're all full health, we're going to be able to take this fight, but you know what, our lead was just too massive that they weren't able to actually do that. So we punished them for their mistake. Yeah, they got a couple of kills, but in the end, you know, we got more than they got. So I decided to back out on this. Yasuo was behind us, and unfortunately they were able to get the kill on me. So it might have been better to stay and get that, but whatever. Made a poor decision trying to fight the Yasuo there. They just played that really well between Alistar and Yasuo, so they got a kill on me, which I was worth a ton of gold, so that was good. Probably bad on my part to die without, you know, getting a kill or an inhibitor, but at this point, you know, this game's all about one, so that's not really a good excuse to die, because, you know, I've thrown my fair share of games where we've started doing things like that, like giving up, you know, big shutdown gold, like this too. Like, had their team been playing together and Diana made a play like that and just got, like, probably close to 1,000 gold for their team, that would have been really bad for us, because, you know, they're really not that behind. And they really could have used that to their advantage, but since, you know, they're playing so dysfunctionally right now, it's not too big of an issue, but in an organized competitive setting where their team wasn't completely tilted, that would have been extremely bad for us to give up 4 massive shutdown golds on just being lazy, which is all of those deaths were. We were being lazy and cocky. So thankfully we relaxed, we reset, we regroup, and we, you know, group back up, get that dragon, and start grouping up and shoving our lead back down their throats. Solution has an excellent ult there, firing off in the random direction to make it look like he's bad. But really, he's playing quite well. Boom! That gets Diana's guard down, thinking he's bad and that she can come in on us like that. Not the case. We melt her. Melt the Yasuo. We went a little too ham. And just, TF just continues just being a beast, running around, just stunning those gold cards that I'm able to follow up on. That's really another reason that I really wanted to get this Twisted Fate ahead. As Shyvana, you don't have great CC. So if you can get somebody on your team that does have great CC, get them ahead so that they can stun and lock people up for you so that you can get on them and start myrtleizing them. That's really what you want to do. You want to get somebody on your team that's able to assist you in getting kills. Again, I go a little too ham trying to get that turret there, but I know our team's so far ahead. You know what? My death is worth getting that last turret. So yeah, like I've kind of mentioned, good team comps that you want to play Shyvana into, kind of the same as Udyr, is you want to play it against teams that don't have a lot of CC and disengage to keep you away, and into teams, at least into team comps where you have some reliable CC to lock people down. So Leona, Twisted Fate are 2 perfect examples of great teammates for Shyvana, because she can lock them down so I can get right into the middle of the team, right where I want to be, start melting them all with my W, start hitting them all with that cleave for my Titanic Hydra, and just start frying them. Alright, so we're pinging for Baron. We don't really need this, but you know what, better safe than sorry. They're nowhere near close enough to be able to contest. You know, this game is just completely out of hand. And plus, I got my Bork, so I can completely melt this. So we tear through this. They're going to back real quick. Normally, I don't like when people back when they're full health and have Baron, because I like to get as much as we can for the Baron buff. But there's not really any towers to take. So this is another example of us getting too greedy and possibly throwing the game. Had they stayed together, they could have easily won this fight, but they didn't. They played a little sloppy, and thankfully my team's able to follow up and avoid this game from turning any south. Because had they just killed me and Lucian, and Ilioi up there, and had the Callista and been able to keep their members alive, you know, they would have had a real chance at coming back in this game. But thankfully, our Twisted Fate's smart enough to keep this cannon here hammering that. Alright, so we're throwing a little bit here. We've been giving them a lot of gold that we should not have been giving them. You know, all these, you know, had they stayed together and been a little bit closer, and then we've been getting them that all that gold, they probably would have been able to win this game with how sloppy we've been playing. But you know what? We know we got a lead. We know they're running Hell-Mel through the jungle. Callista's not helping them out. She hasn't been helping them the last couple fights, so you know what? We know we can remain aggressive and just be able to just group up mid and just hammer them down here. So yeah, I know I've been getting kited in this fights a little bit, so I pull out a little earlier until we can get a little bit of reliable CC down. Thankfully, my team's just cleaning them up, and I decide, you know what, I'm just going to go for this. I've got Devour, I got Bork, I got a lot of attack speed. I'm able to hammer this down and secure the victory. Also remind the Callista what's good. So yeah, main things I want you to take away from this commentary is, one, Shyvana's awesome. Please don't start banning her, but secretly play her and don't let everyone else know. But no, Shyvana's really powerful. Her clear speed's awesome so that she can clear heavily and gank heavily. That's her power. She's able to do both. If your lanes are just getting dominated and you're AFK farming, you are doing it wrong. And that's true about most Devour junglers. With Devour, they can clear really fast. So you should be able to clear and help your lanes. It's not binary. It's not one or the other. You should be able to do both. And if you're ganking heavily and not able to hit your farms as much, you should be at least getting assists and kills to help with your stacks. And also you should be getting map control so that you're able to take Dragon, Rift Herald, Rift Scuttler, and, you know, stack up that way. You know, you might not be getting as many stacks from camps, but you can get, you know, 5 from Dragon, 5 from Herald, and 2 from each of the Scuttler. That's a ton of stacks right there. So, you know, you can still get stacked up plenty quick. Second of all that I want you to take from this is how to play with a lead. We showed good and bad examples of that. So the good examples were early in the game when we were building our lead. We were aggressive. We were, when they were overextending, we were making them pay for it. And we were just taking our advantage and we were shoving it down their throats. You know, we never gave them an opportunity to just sit around and farm up. No, we were taking objectives. We're getting kills. We were taking dragons and everything. We were just taking our lead and just ramming it down their throats so they never had a second to breathe. The bad examples were when me and Lucian are trying to 2v4 top lane. You know, I had 13 kills at that point. I was worth a lot of gold, and the gold now is global, so it helps get their entire team back into the fight. So if lately you've been noticing, like, oh, we had a huge lead, and then we threw the game completely, how did that happen? It's because their entire team gets global shutdown gold when you die. So if you're really big, remain aggressive, but don't do it in a completely reckless way that you're dying and not getting anything for it. So play like we did in the early game, not in the late game, because, you know, we were giving up a lot of deaths and we were not getting nearly enough for it. So let me know what you thought about this video. This is my first non-live game commentary. Again, I was coming back and recording over this because I was throwing a lot of games trying to get good commentary, and so the games ended up being subpar quality. So I wanted to make sure I had the best gameplay, and then I could focus on my commentary as much as possible. So if you liked the video, didn't like the video, have any feedback, anything, please let me know. These videos are all for you guys, And thanks for watching. Hey guys, thank you for watching my video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Feel free to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more League of Legends content. Catch me streaming over at twitch.tv/SithLordLemley. Stream times are posted on my Twitch profile. Thanks again, and I'll see you in my next video.